Independent film is, we have to continue to tell these types of stories. These are the types of film stories and projects that studios are very hesitant to make. They don't, in many cases, don't want to make. They say there's no audience for them. And it's up to us to prove them wrong.
Baby, 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 now, yeah.
Wait.
What are you doing here, Lonzo?
You can't just come over to my house whenever you want, acting like we're still friends.
We were never just friends.
My wife, she stayed here last night.
No, what are you talking about?
Where were you?
I was at Niecy's.
I was with a guy.
The film was called 1982, written, directed by a first-time filmmaker, Tommy Oliver, brother who grew up in the house that we're actually shooting in, which is interesting for me. I think it's the first time I've ever done a film where actually shooting in the house where the real events took place that inspired the actual film.
Putting the film together is incredibly hard. There's something another producer friend of mine tweeted, and she said trying to get a film started is like trying to light a fire with a book of wet matches. And it's just so hard. There's so many things conspiring against you to make it happen. And it's so difficult to raise money. It's just bring everything together. So just the whole process is insane. Once we've actually been here, it's not nearly as hard. And not that it's not hard, but it's just the process of putting together is much harder.
Tommy is wonderful, particularly with this one, because this is his heart piece. This is a personal story of his, and so to have that source, you know, available to you, knowing that he went through it, and it's based a lot on his life and his childhood. So that's what makes him being a part of this obviously very special and informative for all of us actors involved.
Since it's his story, he has a particular sense of what he wants, which I think is really strong for a director to have. But at the same time, as a first-time filmmaker, he did the right thing, and that's by casting experienced actors.
We've got Harper, Sharon Leal, Ruby Dee, Elise Neal, Lala, Quentin Aaron, Bokeem Woodbine, and Wayne Brady. And there's a little girl playing Maya, who's the 9-year-old or 10-year-old lead, who's phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. Her name is Troy Z.
This particular job sort of came up really quick, so there wasn't a lot of preparation. So a lot of it is through the internet and books and just whatever I could find. Tommy's mother's been really great. She's on hand. And yeah, you just kind of, you know, it's a crash course and definitely a hard thing to kind of get into, but I love that. I love the challenge of it, and I love the complexity of a role like this.
Communities like this got ravaged in the early 80s when crack cocaine swept through, and it destroyed families, destroyed people's lives, and destroyed communities. And so hopefully, by telling a very micro story about this particular family, we'll be able to tell a bigger story at the same time.
And one of the things that I realized was that if I actually wanted to make a difference, to be more subversive about it. I mean, because you can't just preach at people. And what I realized was that, what do? You know, we watch TV, we watch movies, we listen to music. I can make movies. You know, movies like American History X or Crash or Boys in the Hood, or going back, 55 years to movies like 12 Angry Men. That's what I care about, being able to make things that are truly transformative and have the ability to incite real conversations. And it all came from, being in Philly and realizing that there are certain things that needed to be done and figuring out a way to be able to contribute.
It's gonna be me and you together, right? We're gonna take care of each other. We're gonna look out for each other.
I'm Tommy Oliver, and you're watching Real Black.
The role of the griot, the griot is a storyteller from Africa. You know, I'm thinking of a famous ending that I read in the African folk tales. This my story, if it be sweet or if it not be sweet, take some elsewhere and let some come back to me.
Hey, look, it's way past time that we should come to the table and start talking about setting up an industry of our own.